Hello. Today, I'm doing the Bookish 20 Questions tag, which I got tagged in by Melena Reeds many months ago. So, finally getting around to it. Gonna catch up on some of these tags. It's gonna be great. Don't worry. Anyways, I think that this is sort of like a good getting to know you activity in terms of taste. So, I don't know. Hopefully it tells you a little bit about me as a reader, so you can know whether or not to take my recommendations seriously. Okay, let's get to it. Question 1 is, how many books is too many books in a book series? And I can't say that there is such thing as too many books, so far, at least, because I've started reading Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, and I'm loving it. I mean, I've only read 4 of the 60-something books in that book series, but I'm very excited that there are 56 more books for me to explore. Yeah, I just love that. I love this world and I get to stay in it for a long time. I think, if there were a linear plot line that I needed to follow over 60 books, that would be way too many books. I guess for linear plot lines, 3 is probably the max, but if it's sort of episodic, like a mystery series or something where you have an overarching plot line, but you have a new mystery each book, then, go at it. I don't care. It could be a lot of books, whatever. If it's very plot and story arc driven, honestly, I don't like series. I just want a good standalone book. So there we go. There's 5 answers to this first question. Number 2 is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? And I don't like them. Please don't do that to me. This is why, when I do read a book series where it's very plot driven, I don't read it until the last book is out because I want to be able to, I don't want any of that. Don't play with my emotions, okay? That's all. Number 3 is hardback or paperback. 100% paperback. This is something that really annoys me with new releases because I want to get in there and get in on the book hype, but I hate buying and reading hardbacks. I never actually pick them up when I do get them because I just hate holding them. Maybe this makes me entirely lazy. Maybe I need to do some more upper body training or something like that, but they're just not my favorite. Number 4 is favorite book, and I say no. I'm sorry. There are too many. I mean, my favorite book of last year was Jackson 1964. My favorite book of the year before that was The Collected Schizophrenias. My favorite book of high school was The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down. But all these just have different places in my feelings, in my heart. So I'm not picking. You can't make me. Least favorite book. I'm pretty good at DNFing, so I feel I don't really know or remember my least favorite book. I think that there are some books that I've read where in the last 30 pages there's been a twist where I'm just are you freaking kidding me? Or we're going in a really sexist or bigoted direction suddenly, and it's but I honestly cannot remember any of these off the top of my head, so sorry, that's not a very interesting answer, but here we are. Question 6, love triangles, yes or no? No. I mean, yes, when they're done well. 99.999% of love triangles that I've read are not done well. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it as a thing, as a form. There's too much angst, and I generally do not relate at all, because it's very obvious that one of them is better, and it's not always the one they end up with. So there's that. The most recent book you couldn't finish. Again, I DNF a ton, so this is sort of a hard question, but I think the most recent book that I was really excited about that I DNF'd was Severance. I got 80 pages into this, and just I really thought that the post-apocalyptic aspects were quite derivative. I feel post-apocalyptic fiction does follow these very specific tropes, but it just very much, the mood reminded me very much of that Twitter thread where there's that guy who uses images from this fashion show and hits on all of the post-apocalyptic story points that you get, and I don't know why, but this really reminded me of that a lot, and I just never got into it. Which I know that this was a highly successful book. I'm sort of wondering if I waited too long to read it. Like, normally I don't read things right when they come out because I'm worried it's going to be ruined by the hype. And I can't quite figure out if I would have been more excited to read this when it first came out and that would have fixed it, or if it's still too hyped and I just went into it with too high expectations, because it was not for me. Okay, sorry, I'm done talking about this. Number 8 is a book that you're currently reading, and I should take the bookmark out of this and put it in this one so I don't have to leave them open. Haha. Decisively DNF'd. There you go. Okay, so I just started reading Civil War Land in Bad Decline by George Saunders. By just started reading, I mean I am 14 pages into this, so that's good. And this is a short story collection, and I've been wanting to read some of his stuff, so I hope that this is gonna be good. Yeah, 14 pages in, I can't actually tell you what I think yet, so find out someday, probably. 9 is the last book that you recommended to somebody. I feel like I'm always just like spitting it out there like, oh, you should read this, oh, you should read that. So she was already reading it, but I recommended Spinning Silver to Noelle. I recommended the Sally Lockhart series to Milena, which I still think that you'd like, so you should read that. I recommended The Witches of Litchford to Lana, which she just talked about in her like recent book haul video, so also check that one out. Yeah, I recommend Jackson 1964 to everybody. I recommend the collected Schizophrenias to everybody. I recommended Trick Mirror to my mom and she loved it, so there you go. I'm just like spitting opinions like a real opinionist. That's not a word. Okay, question 10 is the oldest book that you've read by publication date. And I would guess it's probably like Antigone or Oedipus Rex would be my guess. Sometimes Goodreads doesn't get like the publication date correct, so... Oh yeah, this is definitely not right. It's telling me Tess of d'Urbervilles is the oldest book that I've ever read, which is definitely not true. Well, I guess Antigone is a play. It's probably that one. Or, like, if it's not Ancient Greece, it's probably like Shakespeare. I've read, that's also plays. Well, we're counting plays. I don't know what the oldest novel I've read is. Number 11, newest book I've read is Solutions and Other Problems by Allie Brosh. I talked about it in a reading vlog. This was amazing. I normally don't read new releases, as I have talked about, but this was a hardback I could get behind. So yay. Number 12 is favorite author. This is also really hard. Favorite children's author would be Diana Wynne Jones. Favorite mystery author would be Tana French. Favorite nonfiction. Nonfiction is so hard. I'm gonna go look at my 5 stars. I feel like they're, like, for nonfiction, it's so much more topic-based. There aren't necessarily authors that I've, like, read their whole oeuvre or whatever. Okay, yeah, like, I have, like, 0 repeat nonfiction writers in my 5-star reads. Oh, Annie Dillard has 2 books on here. I think other recent favorites would be Alex Ross, Esme Wang, Janna Levin. I want to read more from her. She wrote How the Universe Got Its Spots, which is sort of about astronomy and also philosophy in a lot of ways, and also, I don't know, it's like, it's just one of these very like poetical science books, which is like a weird subgenre I'm really into. So anyways, Jenny Odell is definitely on there. I think Gia Tolentino does really great long form in The New Yorker. Yeah, so some of those guys. 13 is buying books or borrowing books. And obviously I buy a lot of books. Probably my unread to read ratio on my shelves is about like 2 to 1, so that's not great. But I do think that most of what I read in a month is from the library. I use the Overdrive app quite a lot. I get a lot of ebooks that way. I get a lot of audiobooks that way. You know, you get a loan, you have to read it in a certain amount of time. That does sort of motivate me to get through books quicker. So I guess the answer to this is borrow? I don't know. Both. It can be both. 14 is a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. There's a lot of modern YA fantasy that I could say here. I will say that I read one series by Cassandra Clare and it was highly disappointing. It seems sort of unfair to like be like, oh, like this genre that I don't read a ton in. I don't like it. But the thing is that I do read a lot of YA fantasy. It's just older stuff. It's like the whole pre-Twilight, post-Twilight thing. Like post-Twilight, everything became much more angsty, much more romance focused, and like much worse in my opinion. And that is just my opinion. That is just because those are not things that I look for in my books or like find interesting. So I do read a lot of like mid-2000s YA fantasy and older stuff, but the new stuff, I'm just not here for it. Christina Clare, no. Stephanie Meyer, no. All of those guys, I feel like there must be a nonfiction choice here that would be a lot more dramatic, but I can't think of any right now. And also I'm very good at DNFing, so I feel like if it's not for me, I'm just gonna not read it, and then if I don't read it, I'm not gonna remember why I hated it. Whatever. Okay. Number 15 is bookmarks or dog ears, and neither. I normally lie my books out flat, which is also not good, so I guess I would tend more towards the dog ear book abuse side of things. When I can find a bookmark, that's fine. 16 is a book you can always reread. I have reread How to Do Nothing twice since it came out in 2019, and also I bought a hardback edition of it, which is telling. So this is definitely one, but probably the books I reread most are actually childhood fantasy favorites, because I like re-listening to those audiobooks when I'm feeling stressed out because they just sort of calm me down. So the Garth Nix series, Diana Wynne Jones. Diana Wynne Jones actually doesn't have very many good audiobooks. Like I feel like they should put some money into recording those so that I can listen to them. But yeah, I guess Garth Nix is my real one. The Harry Potter books, but we don't talk about those anymore. So that's basically what I reread. 17 is, can you read while listening to music? And yes, I can. I do enjoy that. Like, I guess there's like some music that I want to sing along to, so listening to that while I'm reading is like not ideal, but like without lyrics or low or music that I feel like vaguely positive but mostly neutral about, I can definitely listen to that. 18 is one point of view or multiple point of views, and when it's done well, multiple point of views is great. I think sometimes people get excited by the idea of writing in multiple point of views, and it's not actually executed that well, and it just sort of complicates things, and you don't like really get into anybody's mindset at all. So again, depends on how well it's written. I'm sorry, that's the answer to a lot of these, I feel like. 19 is, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? And I'm a very fragmented reader. I mean, I read a lot of essay collections and stuff like that, so those I'll just like pick up over months, literally. But if I'm listening to audiobook, I'll normally like find an audiobook that I want to read and like listen to it straight through while I'm like have a long day in lab or something like that. So both, again. Is this helping you to get to know me? Because I feel like I'm not being very informative. Anyways, the last question is, who do you tag? And this tag has been around for a while, so apologies if you've already filmed a video on it. I did do some light searching, and I think this list is good, but we're gonna tag Noelle at Noelle 7 Pages, The Roomies Digest, Lana Ex Libris, Jessica from Lady Lovestead Reads, and Jazz at Red Panda Reads. Okay, cool. Thank you for doing this tag with me, and thank you, Melena, for tagging me, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, or whatever day you're watching this, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye!